Lots been happening over the past couple of weeks. Denon comes out with brand new software to update the Prime series hardware. Rane releases brand new mixer and turntables. We're going to talk about those. Also, where's Pioneer? This is the news. What's going on, everybody? It's your man Cleveland Terry, and today we're going to talk about some news that's hot off the presses. But first, let's talk about Denon. Now, last week, Denon released a brand new firmware software update, firmware 1.5 for the Prime series. Now, this adds a whole bunch of needed stability fixes, but specifically for like the Prime Go, which is what I use on a daily, weekly basis, they've added some key features that were kind of necessary. The first one, split queue. Now, you know, in my video for them, I talked about that. Does it have a split queue?
It doesn't have split queue, but you are the second person to ask for that today, so that's on my list.
Well, Denon is listening, and they are trying to institute features that people want. One of the features that people asked for that I didn't even think was an issue was the disabling of the crossfader. See, people wanted to be able to just work the up faders and disregard the crossfader altogether. I would never have thought that this was a feature that was widespread, but apparently a lot of people wanted it. I would just set the crossfader to sharp and leave it in the middle and problem solved. No need to spend resources on it, but that's just me, and I'm not the people that asked for it. They've also added a new BPM detection, the ability to record your mix with the microphone included, and a higher level headphone output. Across all the Prime series, we've now finally received SoundCloud Go and Beatport. Now, we know that Beat Source is also one that should be coming in a future update, but it's not there right now. So right now we're dealing with Tidal, SoundCloud Go, and Beatport. Those are the three available hardwares. Speaking of, they have now added in a quick menu to be able to get from your physical library to your cloud streaming library. So it's just a quick menu tap to get from one to the other. I have not tested out the firmware yet, but I'm excited to do so, which I will be doing over the next week. And unless there's something significant that I need to talk about, we're going to assume that it works properly. A much needed hardware update comes out to the Rane product line. MK2s. We got the Rane 72 updated MK2 and a Rane 12 MK2. Now, there have been some significant updates to the hardware. Let's talk about the Rane 72 first. The Rane 72, as great as it was with the first version, had some minor issues that left a lot of people dissatisfied. One of them was the crossfader, and then two, the inability to switch from your DVS to your aux inputs. That has been fixed. So for a lot of people, this is going to be the update that they've been asking for. First off, we got the brand new Mag 4 faders, just like the Rane 70. They are amazing faders, and you guys are going to love them. Also added is the ability to switch from the phono line and auxiliary, so you can have the option of doing phase on the auxiliary and DVS and/or records on the phono lines. This is really, really important, and it's a much needed feature. Also added in was some software updates, the ability to do assignable silent cues, and this thing in particular right here. This little section, this is what I was asking for the Rane 7. Some way to quickly change from silent cue to the transport controls to instant doubles at the tap of a button. So I'm glad that it's on the Rane 72. I'm hoping that they add that in as a firmware update to the Rane 70. Now, for the people that have Rane 72 Mark 1s and are pissed off because they finally came out with the MK2 that fixed all of your problems, fear not, because a lot of these things can be fixed in a firmware update. So you're gonna get a lot of the feature requests, including the assignable, switchable RCAs. That's in the update. And if you don't like the faders that are built into the system, guess what? You can order the Mag 4 faders, you can install them yourself, and the only thing that you won't have is the tension control knob that is now found on the Rane 70 and Rane 72. But for a lot of people, this may be enough to prevent you from having to update to the new Mark II mixer. So kudos to Rane for offering that backwards compatibility and for not leaving out those loyal purchasers that were with you from the start. While the Rane 72 was a significant update, it pretty much just offered feature parity from the Rane 70. So the 12 is where a lot of the new technology was actually focused on. And with the 12, it does not disappoint, in all honesty. It gives you a dedicated instant doubles button, a dedicated BPM digital display, new nav controls for Serato, and a odd but rather good addition of RCAs to support true DVS DJing. I'm never gonna say no to things that make the hardware feel more turntable authentic. This is gonna give turntablists a super nuanced control not found in an all digital environment. Now it is strange considering FaZe is making the jump to an all digital setup. Meanwhile, the Rane 12s are adding in backwards compatibility. So we'll see who wins in the long run, but it's just a little strange to me. Now, the one thing that is a little frustrating to me, now that they've added in the dedicated analog RCAs, is the lack of any needle add-on so that we could play some of our old vinyl. I'm sure it's much harder than I'm making it out to be, but I still want the ability to be able to play in a truly digital environment while still having access to my old records. In my opinion, that would be a true hybrid system. Maybe one day we'll have an MK3 and they've found a way to make that a possibility. But up until then, we still have to deal with the fact that either you're DJing completely digitally, hybrid digitally, or you're DJing with needles and you still have access to your vinyl. So that's one of the only pluses of having the FaZe system, is that you can switch back and forth, where if you have the 12s, you will not have that option. Oh, and did I mention that it supports both Tractor and Virtual DJ? And in DVS mode, only DVS mode, you can use Rekordbox. So for all of the other options, being able to control the software via the hardware knobs or the instant doubles, all of those things are available if you use Tractor or Virtual DJ or Serato. Rekordbox, it is what it is. Which leads me to my next thing. In one of my previous, actually news videos, I mentioned that the NAMM 2020 winners was InMusic. InMusic in all its slew of companies came out with the best and the most hardware for 2020. Meanwhile, Pioneer only came out with their new behemoth of a mixer, the V10. Now moving to quarantine, and still at the start of quarantine all the way up to today, InMusic has been pushing products left and right. They're the only ones pushing products. And what have they put out? Prime 2, Denon Prime Go, Denon SC6000, Numark Mixtrack Pro, Mixtrack Platinum, Rane 70, Rane 72 MK2, and Rane 12 MK2s. I might have missed something, I'm not even sure. During the same time, what has Pioneer released? They've released Rekordbox 6 and their V10 mixer. What is going on? No S9 mixer update, no DDJ 800 SRT, no DDJ 1000 update to at least feature parity the DDJ 800 feature. Nothing. No updates, nothing. Wait, I think I saw something. Putting a paint job on a 2001 Ford Taurus does not make it a Mustang. All I'm saying is quarantine is the time for exposure. If you were a DJ in the know, you know that right now is the time to make sure you're still being seen out there. It's not the time, if you're a DJ, to go hide in the darkness and just try to wait this one out, because people are watching. People see you DJs out there that are no longer DJing, or you're being exposed. Meanwhile, there are a lot of new DJs, a lot of even old classic DJs that are finally getting their reps because people are realizing what quality is. It goes the same for DJ hardware companies. If you don't release, announce, hint at any new products, somebody else is gonna get your sales. And then when you finally release a product, people are gonna have all this new gear and not wanna buy your products. I mean, in all seriousness, if I have what I think is a perfect mixer, why would I want to upgrade to yours if it's offering the same stuff? I know that there are Pioneer loyalists just as there are Rane loyalists and Reloop loyalists and Denon loyalists. So I'm pretty sure that Pioneer is banking on the fact that even though all these people are releasing new product, if you are a Pioneer loyalist, you are going to wait for whenever they announce their new hardware updates. Or maybe Pioneer thinks that during quarantine, the DJs aren't working, so the DJs aren't gonna have money in order to buy their new products, so why make the announcements now? Let's just wait it out until quarantine ends, people are working again, and then let's release our products. This is going to be a very interesting analysis to see which one comes out of this on top. Is it gonna be in music because they are releasing product even though their purchasers may not have money to buy them now and they're gonna wait anyway, or be like Pioneer and then just try to wait out the entire quarantine and then release when people have money? It's gonna be interesting. I don't have an answer for you. We'll have to wait and see how it pans out. I will tell you this, those new Rane 12 MK2s look pretty damn tempting right now. If you found what I said here useful, hit that like button. If you found what I said here really useful, hit that subscribe button. Make sure you follow me on the Instagrams and the Twitters. Guys, always a pleasure. And if I don't talk to you later, we'll talk soon. Peace.